Hi guys, welcome back to the Totally Magic channel, and on this video I want to tell you a bit of a story of something that happened to me many years ago. In the English village I lived, we had this mystery man that used to wander around. Nobody in the village really ever got to know him, but he said, "Would you like to see a trick?" At which point I said, "Yeah, that'd be great." And from his pocket he pulled a few cards. He showed me he had some red cards and some blue cards. He then said, "Let me show you the faces." And as soon as he showed me the first red card, I saw that we were not dealing with regular playing cards. They are cards that are used in experiments of the mind, ESP. And as he dealt the red cards to show me, he said, "I want you to name any symbol you see." Now, normally I go for the star, as most people do, but I thought I'd be a little bit different this time, and I said the square. He said you had a choice of any of the cards from the packets. Let's eliminate the red cards first of all, as we've seen those. He laid these on the park bench. He then showed me the remaining blue cards that he was holding, and he dealt those down, and I could see that they did match card for card the red ones. He had a cross, a circle, a square and a star. He said to me, "It's unusual that you chose the square. You see, before we started I did something with the cards. I swapped a card. Among the blues we have one red card." Now this could be any symbol, yet it turned out to be the symbol that I had named earlier. He picked up the red packet. Once again, among the reds was this odd coloured card, and once again he showed me it matched the symbol that I had chosen earlier. He said that could have been luck, and he returned each card to their respective halves. But he said, "I deal in magic, not luck. Let's place your card to the bottom." And he dealt the card to the bottom. He even proved that it was there. He said, "Let's take the other one and deal it to the bottom of the packet." There it is there. "I'm not going to touch anything, but I will do magic." And he waved his hand over the cards. He asked me to spread them, and as I spread each packet, amazingly the cards had switched. Which cards? It turned out to be the cards that I'd named earlier. And just to prove that he wasn't dealing with more than two squares, he proceeded to show me the remaining cards and asked me to examine all 8 cards. And that's the trick I now call the Mystery Man. So here's a tutorial for this particular packet card trick. Now, this was shown to me many years ago, and when I first saw this, they were using tarot cards to present it, and it worked really well, and I always remembered that. Then several years later, probably about the mid-90s, at a magic convention, I saw the trick performed twice by 2 different magicians, but they used regular playing cards, and so that kind of gave me an idea to use something different, ESP cards. Now, although I used to use 5 cards in each packet, it actually appears more consistent when you use 4, as you'll see, because this whole trick just requires basically 1 sleight, the Elmsley count. Now, if you've never done the Elmsley count before, then I'll put a link to my tutorial below the video in the description and also at the end, but if you search YouTube or any books, you'll find the Elmsley count described in those. Now, how do we set this up? Well, the trick itself, so I've since been told by a few people that it's based on a Roy Walton trick from one of his books quite a number of years ago. But here's my variation, or my interpretation. You use 4 red, 4 blue. Now these can be regular cards, tarot cards, number cards, I leave it up to you. If you're using regular cards, maybe have 4 aces or something like that. But I've got 2 sets of ESP cards that match. Now the only thing you've got to do at the start is to have the cards in order. Now this can be any order, it doesn't have to be the regular ESP order, so you can have them in any order. Just make sure that the other packet matches card for card. Once you've done that, stack them together and you're good to go. Now it doesn't matter whether you start with the blue or the red, you just introduce the packet and you then show them the first 4 cards. Now you're going to get them to choose a symbol, however, whichever card they pick has to be moved to the top. Well, that's easy for this packet because you're showing them, so if they choose, say for example, the star, all you do is you pull it out and say, so you want the star, you put it back, it's now on top. Then when you spread the cards and say, remember you could have had any of these, I've got to get the star, which I know was in the 2nd position, to the top. And all I do, you can do this quite openly, there's no secret to it because the spectator doesn't know what's happening. So you just spread the cards in a messy way. My fingers are just going to grip this 2nd card here and watch. I just pull it apart, just gesture like this. You've now moved it to the top. Basically, whichever card they pick must be on the top of each packet. That's it. If you have an alternative way of getting it there, then feel free to do that. Once you've done that, as you push the cards together, you're going to get a break under the top 6 cards. Okay, so you're left with 2. So square them up and then pick up at the break the whole block. It just looks as though you're moving the blue packet to the bottom as you flip it over. You can then push off the first 4 cards. They will be one of each symbol. Okay, what you've actually got here are 2 red and 2 blue, and the same over here. Now what I tend to do is just casually, I don't make a big deal of it, I don't say look at the red packet here, I just turn it and say remember you had any symbol, you chose the star. I then spread this packet, which they assume is the red, and you place this down on here. Now again, another subtle move I tend to do is to drop the 2nd card so it flips over. I just let go of it and it flips over. That kind of looks as though it doesn't matter because they're all red and you just put that in line, but you're basically showing them the 2 packets match. Everything's done because now you can square these up and these ones, and you're going to perform an Elmsley count. Now when you perform an Elmsley count, and again I'm not going to go through it in this video, as I perform the Elmsley count, it looks as though one card is of an opposing colour. You put the top card underneath, square the cards up, and you need to do a triple lift. Now you can do that anyhow you like, you just need to turn over all 3 cards. Okay, what I tend to do is to do a buckle. Remember, a buckle is just here, and I know that some of you are probably saying, I thought you said we only needed to do 1 sleight, the Elmsley. Yes, that is the key sleight. This is just an option, you don't have to do the buckle. You might have a different way of lifting 3 cards at once. So I flip these over, so straight away it looks like the odd coloured card is their chosen symbol. Turn them back over and I just peel that off and just lay it crosswise on top of the packet. I do exactly the same move, the Elmsley count here, and do the triple turnover. You'll notice when I do a turnover, I turn it over so it's staggered. That way it's easy for me to pick up here because it's overlapping. I turn it over and I remove this as I put these down. Now be careful on spreading these cards because you don't want to reveal the other colours, so keep them square. Straight away pick this up. They've seen this is the star. It's not, but they believe it to be the star. And you say, well, let's return these to their respective packets. Everything looks clean. You then repeat the Elmsley count to say that you're going to deal their card to the bottom. Now it looks as though you've dealt it to the bottom, but just to verify that, you can flash the bottom card because it really is their card. You do the same over here, an Elmsley count, and flash the bottom card. Everything's done. You're hands off from this point. You get the spectator to wave their hands, or you say you're going to remove the cards invisibly, transfer them over, and of course when you spread the cards you have the odd colour card, and when you reveal these and put them across, it's seen it's their card. But the beauty of this, if I then just turn these cards over like this, these are now good to go for your next performance. So it's an instant reset. So this is a great little trick, but as I said, have a play around with it, try it with different cards, maybe picture postcards, number cards, tarot cards, or just regular cards. And that is the Mystery Man.